Hello and welcome. You're watching AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adirayo Senami. President Donald Trump on Monday renewed his assault on the prospect of widespread mail-in voting in November's general election, asserting that the election will be the most rigged in the country's history should many states move forward as planned, allowing citizens vote by mail if they're still worried about the coronavirus pandemic. However, the consensus among many political scientists and election lawyers in the U.S. is that Trump, in questioning the electoral process even before it begins, is setting the stage for widespread legal challenges to the outcome of the vote if he ends up losing the election. Meanwhile, Somalia's lower house of parliament has passed the legislation that gives women 30% of seats in the chambers, following consistent petitions of underrepresentation by women in the country. However, a politician, Abdurrashid Duali Ahmed, described the new legislation as a violation of rights, and some male aspirants have rejected it, stating that people should have the right to choose whichever candidate they want. Somalia's lower house has a total of 274 seats, while the upper house has 54 seats. Yemen's government and southern separatist forces have agreed to a ceasefire and will begin talks on implementing an earlier peace agreement. Spokesman of the Saudi-led military coalition fighting the Houthi rebels, Turki al-Maliki, in a statement said the Southern Transitional Council and the Saudi-backed government of President Abdul Mansur Hadi also agreed to hold a meeting on implementing a 2019 Riyadh agreement involving committees from both sides. Tensions between the two former allies in Yemen's long-running war have grown since April, when the United Arab Emirates-backed SCC unilaterally announced self-rule in areas under its control in Yemen. Meanwhile, Cote d'Ivoire's Defense Minister Hamed Bakayoko says a senior jihadist who led an attack against the military earlier this month has been nabbed. Bakayoko confirmed that a large number of other militants have also been arrested in connection with the assault on the country's border with Burkina Faso, in which at least 10 soldiers were killed. This is the first jihadist attack in Cote d'Ivoire since 2016, when 19 people were killed at a beach resort. In Tunisia, protesters, angry at the high rate of unemployment, clashed with police for a second day in the southern city of Tatouine. The protesters are demanding for the government to fulfill its campaign promise that jobs will be created in the region. The region has 30% unemployment rate, one of the worst unemployment rates in the country. The demonstrators are also calling for the release of Tarek Haddad, a leading activist in their movement who's been detained by security forces. In a bid to curb the coronavirus outbreak in the Gulf, only pilgrims that are already in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will be allowed to perform this year's Hajj. The Kingdom's Hajj Ministry, which announced a limited Hajj on Monday, said it will receive various nationalities in Saudi Arabia, but did not specify a number. The decision marks the first time in the country's modern history that Muslims outside the kingdom will be barred from performing the Hajj, which had 2.5 million pilgrims last year. We'll take a break now, and when we return, 24 cybercrime suspects arrested. Stay with us, details coming shortly.
Mental health and the COVID-19. It is no longer news that the coronavirus disease is now a pandemic. New cases are on the rise and the death rates have increased. People may develop issues of poor sleep, poor eating habits, undue irritability, and uncertainty. Some may also start to cope with the use of alcohol, substances of abuse, and self-harm. While all of these reactions can occur in response to a stressful event, it is important to share tips to help people remain in optimal mental health. 1. Let's normalize the conversation. If you feel anxious or afraid about the virus, remember, you are not alone. 2. Don't self-diagnose. Just because you have symptoms that are alike to COVID-19 doesn't mean you have it. 3. Plug out and limit sources of information to credible ones. 4. Develop a healthy daily routine, especially as quarantine is ongoing. 5. Focus on the things you have control over. 6. Practice social distancing, not social isolation. Utilize online channels to keep in touch with friends, family, and loved ones. 7. Avoid maladaptive coping techniques such as drinking and smoking excessively or self-harm. 8. Educate children, the elderly, and loved ones on social distancing, quarantine, and how to keep safe. 9. Take care of yourself by eating healthy and sleeping well. 10. Create time for self-development via reading and online webinars. 11. If you or anyone you know has a physical or mental health problem, please use your medications and encourage them to do same. 12. Reach out, seek help, and get help should the need arise for your health. Remember that there is no health without mental health.
Welcome back. You're watching 84 TV Radio News Update. The Bauchi State Coalition Against Financial Crimes and Injustice, Bakafchi, in Nigeria, has dragged the immediate past governor of the state, Alhaji Muhammad Abdullahi Abubakar, and some officials that served in his administration before the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for allegedly making a fertilizer deal on behalf of the state worth over 2 billion naira, equivalent of $5.2 million, without a formal contract. The chairman of the commission, Alhaji Bibi Dogo, in a statement issued on Monday, said records in the possession of the group shows that on the 18th of August 2016, the Bauchi State Agricultural Supply Company, BASAC, confirmed that it received more than 73,197 bags of fertilizer from 3 companies for the 2016 farming season. The Nigeria police on Monday said its men arrested 24 suspects over cybercrime and other related offences. The first public relations officer, Frank Mba, said the suspects were arrested for their involvement in cases of romance and online dating scams, generating and deployment of fake bank alerts and hacking fraudulent wire transfers, as well as impersonation of high-profile personalities in Nigeria and across the world. Some of the suspects created a fake Frank Mba Foundation account with a bank. Meanwhile, the chairman of the All Progressives Congress Primary Election Committee and Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma on Monday announced Osage Izeyamo as the winner of the All Progressives Congress APC election in Edo State, Nigeria. Governor Uzodinma said the election was only a protocol in line with guidelines of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as other aspirants stepped down before the polls. No less than 1,600 employees in Alphabet Inc. are petitioning Google to stop selling email and other services to police departments. Conditions of anonymity said that general computing platforms like Gmail, G Suite, and Google Cloud Platform will remain available for governments and local authorities, including police departments. The employees expressed disappointment with Google for not joining millions to defund police departments, as civil rights activists across the United States have called for scaling back traditional policing following the recent climate on racism. And that's it on 84 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our website at www.84tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at 84TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 84TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Adira Yosenami.